The secret to success in law is through what's called a motion practice. The thing you write will be the thing that wins the case for you 9 times out of 10. That ain't me, or they screwed up. They didn't meet their burden of proof. If you can use 5 words instead of 15, hit it and move on. Hey, Brian Parker here, bringing you a top 10 list. So I'm going to be doing a series of videos of top 10 things to help you with one particular subject. Today's subject is a really exciting subject. It's called writing winning motions. Don't think it's important? Law is really not done with trials or big flashy class actions. The secret to success in law is through what's called a motion practice. So the thing you write will be the thing that wins the case for you 9 times out of 10. So let's take a look at top 10 tips for writing winning motions. There's many reasons why you want to file a motion. The other side's not doing what you want them to do, or they're doing too much of something you don't want them to do, or they're bugging you, or you just want to make a statement, or you just want to tell the court what's going on. So when you're writing a motion, it's important, number one tip, be concise and clear. Judges read hundreds of motions monthly. It's called motion practice. Well, they only have 2 eyes and they don't have that much time in the day, so hit it and move on. They appreciate, in fact, they reward clarity. So if you get to the point quickly and concisely, don't make it a novel, but do make a story. So a novel is too long. A story about what's going on, which is, just remember, the introduction should be your conclusion. And in the middle, you talk about the introduction and conclusion. But if you can use 5 words instead of 15, hit it and move on. Number 2, follow a logical structure. Every motion has a structure. Decide what yours is going to be, and it should be a preliminary statement, of course, that comes from your answer, that comes from your counter affidavit. The counter affidavit is the blueprint for everything. But have that then say, that's what's going on, here's the facts, here's the law. In conclusion, the laws support my preliminary statement, which comes from your counter affidavit. Keep it simple, stupid. If you do a good job on a motion, I will tell you, especially in federal court, you'll find your brief is in the winning opinion. So when they write an opinion, they quote chunks of your motion as far as the law and the facts. I've seen it, I lived it, so do a good job, and the opinion you get from the court will be what you write. Support every argument with authority. So don't just say it, support it, okay? And basically, that's arguing 101. So make sure the rules and arguments you depend upon support the thing that you want, the message that you want to make. Write a rough draft or an outline first. I can tell you the secret to writing, I put it off and procrastinate. It drives me nuts. When I finally get to do it, I'm like, you had 2 weeks. I'm talking to myself. So just write anything. I swear to you, once you start writing, your brain, it starts feeding you and it wants to help you. You know, there's the subconscious and there's a conscious. I know I'm not a psychologist, but the subconscious is screaming at you daily, and you just listen for the cues. And one of the ways you can hear what the subconscious is trying to tell you how to be a success is to start writing. It will come through. Write a rough draft and things will happen. The next day you go, oh, I've already halfway there. I just have to fill in the blanks. Write an outline, fill in the blanks. Number 5, use your counter affidavit as an outline. That is the blueprint, not just to success, but anytime you want to know, what do I do? Go to your counter affidavit, because the first thing you did when you got the lawsuit is answer, and you ripped apart the lawsuit, and then you created the counter affidavit with all the mistakes they made and all their support that you're showing the court. That ain't me, or they screwed up. They didn't meet their burden of proof. If your message is they didn't meet the burden of proof, that should be the message in everything, supported by your counter affidavit. Again, include supporting authority in your brief. It's where you develop your answers fully, where you take that answer, which is already a good job because you supported it, and you used the Parker way, which is don't just say admit and deny, support it. Guess what? When you've done the counter affidavit and the answer, that is your motion. That is your motion response. All the work you want and dread doing, just cut and paste and support it. You don't always need to rewrite everything because you've already done it in your answer and your counter affidavit. So if you want, instead of writing a lot of stuff because you want brevity, say, please see affidavit blah blah blah, where it said yada yada, or please see above the paragraph on how I explained this already. So this technique saves time and keeps those eyes open of the judge. Make your opening and your closing match. Now, writing 101 is, believe it or not, I've been trying to write a book for 30 years, but this writing takes up my time. But the secret to writing, and I've got it from many authors because I don't follow my own rule as far as writing the book, but the secret is write your conclusion first. Your preliminary statement, which is your opening argument, is your conclusion. If it isn't, then it ain't. If your conclusion is not your opening, you're breaking the Parker rule, which is say it at least 3 times. Your preliminary statement, in the middle you're supporting it, and at the end you're concluding with your preliminary statement that's already been written in your counter affidavit, that's already been written in your answer. So make sure those two match, and it just in the brain of the judge, it brings it all together. You're doing the Parker 3 times rule. People don't hear you until you keep repeating. I know I've tried many cases in front of juries, and then I ask them afterwards what I do wrong. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep and follow the Parker rule 3 times. Make sure, number 9, your wherefore clause. That's where you ask for what you want. Don't make it lawyerly. Go, I want this. As you know, I want this. I want this. And at the end, if you think you've missed anything, just say, and then I want such of a relief as the court deems just and proper. Number 10, know your state filing process. In many states that I work in, you got to pay $20 in state court. In federal court, you don't. But know if there's a filing fee, make sure you have your notice of hearing, your proof of service, everything filed with the court. File everything with everybody, then file something that says, I filed everything with everybody. And as a nice thing, if you're in a Zoom jurisdiction, put the Zoom ID in your notice of hearing. It's good for you if you're in a hurry on the day of the hearing, and it's good for the other side. It's good for everybody's happy that you did that. I will attach a how to write a motion checklist to this video. So I'll attach my 10 tips and a nice little cheat sheet for you, 1 page, exemplifying a little more detail, but check off these boxes. Once you've done that, you've written your top 10 motion. Thank you.